What's up, everybody? We are getting ready to do our 2024 PRT wrap-up show. I'm here with Crackle to talk
Hello.
all things professional risk takers. We're going to cover the PRT Tour, announce our 2024 champ, our 2025 pros, the top 25 in the PRT Tour for the year. We're going to go through the entire PRT Tour schedule for 2025, so we've already got it planned out and scheduled. We're also going to go through some PRT league updates and announce our new leagues and open up signups for potential owners for those leagues. So here we go. No further ado. We've got Apes in here, Zareki, Jax. Welcome in, everybody. Let me get set here. Okay, so our 2024 event champs, it all started with the Player's Choice Invitational and Riedel getting the win. Lina Kitty got the Assassin's win. Driz in March Madness. Big Map Open went to Jax Wild. Bart took the Zombie title. Mamba and Road Trip. Rivers took the 70 reset. Jax Wild won his second event of the year in the Birthday Bash. Bart won his second event of the year in the Hot Buns World Tour. Cecil won the Capture the Flag. Zango in Speed Caps. And Mamba taking his second event of the year in the PRT Cup just a couple of weeks ago. So congrats to all those guys. Those 12 all had fantastic years. 3 players winning 2 events.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. I mean, congratulations to Bart, Jackson, and Mamba for doubling up. That's very hard to do in this caliber of player.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And obviously all different types of events. I think Mamba winning Road Trip and PRT Cup, 2 very similar type events that are kind of the standard FFA style, would you say?
Yeah, you can definitely tell by what they won. Well, although I will say, Jax, the Birthday Bash Open, obviously a little bit of a weird format. First time doing that weekend format. What is that? 4 days, I guess total, maybe
Yeah,
5.
5 maybe. Yeah.
And but I think kind of a standard format once you break it down. If you were to extend it out
Yeah.
over 6 weeks.
Yeah, just compressed,
Um,
but the same style.
The only thing I'm disappointed about is Chad not winning the zombies. Very disappointed in him.
Huge letdown.
Huge letdown.
I think that's why he wants to adjust the settings this year to make them
Yeah.
more favorable to
More
himself,
Chad
probably.
friendly.
Yeah, for sure.
Super Chad.
Yeah. So there's your event champs. So this year we did 435 matches, 652 games, 401 broadcasts. Big shout out to first off our match hosts. They host every single match, so you get a true match host in those matches. Just a few of them. I should have made a list of them all, but Zareki, Driz, Quarantined helped with some of that hosting. Obviously, Crackle helps with some of that hosting. Belize, Destro. Who else am I missing?
Pentix.
Pentix for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
big shout out to all those guys who do such a good job making sure the lobbies are put together and we're filling in spots and all that stuff. And then our broadcasters, for the most part, boiled down to Mike at Quarantine, Crackle, and I. But we also had Chad in there, Lina Kitty in there, Leona, Sterling. Hot Buns was filming some stuff, so we had a good sprinkling in of different broadcasters. Anyone I missed that you can think of?
No, nothing off the
Should have
top of my
made
head here, but
should have
I
made some
definitely
reference.
appreciate everyone who was able to broadcast because it's not always easy to find time, especially when some of these broadcasters are playing, several tournaments a week as well.
Right. That is true. So, ton of
I'm waiting for
matches.
Zareki to start broadcasting. When's that happening?
Yeah, I don't know. He did. So one time I ran a game and he commentated on it, but that's about as far as I've been able to push him.
I need him to broadcast and point out how bad everyone is playing.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to hear Zerke's perspective through a broadcast for sure.
I say that lovingly because he knows what he's doing.
Sure. Okay, so going through our final leaderboard for 2024, top 25 are Tour Pros for 2025. Those 25 players have a guaranteed spot in every single one of our invitationals, as well as the Opens, which all members have a spot in. So they'll have a guaranteed spot in 12 tournaments for 2025. They will get the 2025 Tour Pros role, which I assume Zareki is putting on everybody right now in Discord, if I was guessing. So let's start here. Roberto Lowe's finishes in 25th. He joined us during the year. I think he joined
Yeah,
around the World Cup time.
yeah, and it's well, no. He joined after that.
It
He
was after
joined the
that?
World Cup, and then he didn't actually become an actual tour member. Uh, I think he maybe 4 tournaments left in the season, something like that.
Wow.
Very maybe 5. So yeah, it just goes to show that if you just have a few really key tournament finishes, you can get into that top 25.
Heck yeah. Yeah, Roberto here in the chat. Congrats, Roberto, and a solid run there at the end of the year to get in the top 25. Plasma Field in 24th, Hudson Hornet 23rd, Little Banana Juice 22nd, Hot Buns 21st, and just in front of Hot Buns, her nemesis Silent Legend there at 20th. So those are your first 6 in the final leaderboard. Any surprises there for you, Crackle?
Not really. Lil Banana I know he had a great first half. Silent Legends always consistent. Hudson had a few really bad finishes. I don't not to sound mean. I don't mean great player, but he also had some really high finishes. So it's not one of those where Silent Legend I feel like is very consistent throughout his tournaments. Hudson was a little more up and down, um, but you see they kind of ended up in the same place.
Yeah. 19th Noob 2.0, 18th Feliz, one of our great match hosts, finishes there in 18th. Cecil Dogan in 17th. Zareki, our do everything in Discord manager for the professional risk takers, finishes 16th. Nathaniel in 15th. And Arco in 14th. Any thoughts on this slate here, Crackle?
No, I mean all great players. I'm surprised Arco didn't get top 10 just because of pure Arco luck, but
Yeah.
getting 14th with this list of players is quite an accomplishment still. So
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then we go 13th General Rivers with a bunch of numbers, but I just put General Rivers. Horace Boy 12, Riedel 11, Zycron 10, Tiger 15, 12, 9, and Bart in 8th. Bart with the two tour wins, but that was the vast majority of his points on the year, finishes in 8th.
yeah, surprising he didn't get a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'd have to go back and look at his finishes, but I think there may have been a few tournaments he didn't get to play in as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, that
for
may have been
sure.
part of it also. Trunk in 7th, Grimshanky in 6th. Lina Kitty again with the win in Assassins finishes in 5th. Pete, ever heard of him? In 4th.
I don't know. I don't know, Pete.
Yeah, new guy. Sir Tyler in 3rd. And 2nd with his big win in the PRT Cup. Mamba jumps a bunch of people there right at the end of the year to finish in 2nd, again with his two tour wins.
Yeah, no big surprises there. Really, I mean, Grim, I think made a good jump at the end of his last couple tournaments as well. Um, Sir Tyler, I just want to point out, he got a lot of great finishes. Almost every tournament you're seeing him in the quarterfinals or
Yeah,
later. Didn't quite get as far as he wanted to in some of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if he won a couple next year.
yeah. Yeah, I felt like we saw him in almost every semifinal. Felt like we would see him in there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your winner of the 2024 PRT Tour, your champion, Jax Wild. So very impressive run
Congratulations,
from
Jax.
Jax. Obviously had the two wins, and he felt like he was in plenty of other late tournament situations. Maybe everything besides the cup. The cup seemed to be the only one that he had an early bow out. I think that's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah,
Yeah. So
but obviously super consistent.
semifinals in the cup.
One
So I
thing,
was wrong. I just assume you're going to be in the finals every time. I guess.
oh, did he? Maybe it was the one before, or maybe it was the
Yeah, maybe speed
capture the
caps or
flag.
something.
Maybe I know there had one tournament where he didn't quite make as many cuts as usual. But what I wanted to say about Jax was, I actually noticed quite a change in play from last year, 23, when he first came on the scene to 24.
Okay.
Very good player. 24 though, he just took it up to another level. Um, I saw a little more patience out of him. A
Okay.
little more, almost played it more like games more like chess. Really thought out the moves ahead of time, and you saw it come to fruition for him
Yeah.
this year as he. I mean, coming in first against this group of players is quite an accomplishment when it
Yeah.
comes to risk.
Yeah. Huge deal. Really cool for Jax. Again, all 25 of these guys will be PRT Tour pros for next year. You're going to see them in all these invitationals. So if you want to prove you're better than Jax, just beat them. That's all you got to do. You're going to get plenty of chances. That being said, registration opens today. So right after we go off the air here, we will publish the signups for the Player's Choice Invitational, bringing it back for year 2. It does have a bit of a change this year. Crackle, you want to walk us through kind of the way it'll work?
Yeah. So last year we got a little. I don't want to say, I guess, over our heads with the settings. We had a lot. We put a little too much responsibility on the players. Not that the diehard players couldn't handle it, but for some of our players that aren't available as much, they kind of got stuck in groups they may have not wanted to play in. So this year we're limiting the votes to a 24-hour, possibly 48-hour window. Um, each round we'll put out the 6-player, 5-player, and 4-player formats, whether it's Prog World Dom, Fix 70, 4-player zombies. It might be a little something else when we do release the settings. But what people are going to be able to vote on is the map. Um, so there'll be 3 options for maps for each game, for the 6-player, the 5-player, and the 4-player. And the players from Sunday night Eastern Standard Time, my time. For I guess 24 hours. We might do 48. They'll have that time to go in, vote on the maps that they want to see for those particular settings. The maps that we pick are going to be kind of maps that are known for those progressive world dom. You might see a turkey or something in there. Um, and players will be able to vote for what they want, and whoever wins, that'll be the settings for the week.
Yeah, so the players, this is a good time to mention a lot of the events. We're going to announce the full tour for 2025 today. A lot of the events are the events you've seen before, but we've pretty much made touches and changes to almost every event. We got really good feedback this year. We didn't get a ton of feedback from different people, but the people that did give us feedback and the players that gave us feedback, we really tried to utilize it in restructuring some of these events, tweaking them, and just trying to improve them in general. People like the overall ideas of most of the events. They just had minor things. So you're gonna see adjustments pretty much in all of these events, and that one being for the Players' Choice Invitational, changing how much we're challenging the players to come up with each round. They're just coming up with maps each round, and not necessarily having to match their settings and time frame they can play and things like that. Again, those 25 Tour Pros will be able to sign up right after we go off the air here. You'll be able to sign up immediately. You'll get those first spots in the event, and then the open spots will be filled by members via invitation. Crackle will send out those invitations once the members have all had, or once the Tour Pros have all had their shot to claim their spot. 2024's champ of the Players' Choice Invitational was Riedel, so Riedel will obviously have the chance to defend his title in the Players' Choice Invitational. Anything else you think we should say about this, Crackle?
No, I mean, so just to um, let everyone know, if you aren't a top 25, and so there'll be the sign up channel, like you mentioned, for pros to immediately sign up, but then there'll also be an interested channel.
Right.
So if you are interested in playing in the tournament and you want one of those final, what is it, 20 spots or so, um, just mark interested in there, and we'll decide based on several factors who's going to get the invite to play.
Yeah, 48 player tournament. It's winner moves on, so 3 games per round, 6 player, 5 player, 4 player game. Winner moves on all the way to the final, where it's a 1 game winner take all final. Okay, that's your Players' Choice Invitational, but we now get to announce our newest event on the PRT Tour, which will be the first open event of the year. Again, open events are available to all PRT members. They'll have a spot where they can sign up. This new event is the Winners Arena Open. Registration will open January 13th, so you got a couple weeks before that's announced, and you can start signing up. This event, Crackle, tells about the event.
So this was a creation of Driz. I know he was a big fan of the tournament. I think it was a Grandmasters tournament that had just based off just wins, total amount of wins you play every game. So this is similar, but there are a couple differences. But the first like 4 or 5 rounds, it's going to be just win as many games as you can. You're going to play 3 games each round, win as many as you can. Once we get down to the semifinals, which will be the final 12, I think, that's going to then become a win one of the 3 games to get into the final situation. There won't be any auto advancing or anything at any point. But yeah, it's just going to be play 3 games a week, win as much as you can, and pray to God that you won enough games, I guess.
Yeah, so all about getting wins in this one. Not a bounties or placement point kind of tournament. So Driz is, I think, put together most of the settings, and Crackle and Driz have collaborated
Yep.
on it, getting the whole thing set up. So registration will be January 13th. It'll open. This will be mostly a February open tournament for every PRT member to play in. Should be a lot of fun, and it's brand new to the PRT Tour. So there was no 2024 champ. You'll have the chance to be the first ever Winners Arena Open. Any other thoughts on this, Crackle?
No, I like this more than the March Madness tournament, if I'm
Sure.
being honest.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
and
a
you
lot
guys
of
will
mixed
see
feelings for that one.
we've kind of replaced the March Madness with this one, and swapped some others around. So
I
yes,
the March Madness as an idea was awesome. I really like the trying to fit that format, and I loved ranking the players on being on the committee and ranking the players and having that kind of power. But it's tough to say, hey, win your game, but you might not move on.
yeah,
So it's a tough one.
yeah, it
I
was
think
very
there's a way
tricky.
to do it maybe, but I'm looking forward to this taking its place.
Yeah,
It's
for
going to be a
sure.
fun tournament.
Okay, so those are the first 2 events of the year. That's your first invitational and first open. We do 6 invitationals, 6 opens each year. So let's take you through in a little less detail. We'll tell you the other 10 events for the year. You'll notice these 10 events are all returning events. However, as we said before, they all have some tweaks to them and to their formats. But February, we will have the Assassins Unlimited. It'll be an invitational this year. We'll update that logo from open. But it'll be an invitational this year, more in the traditional format. I believe, Crackle, is this a winner moves on Assassins? Is that what it is now?
Yeah,
Okay.
most likely that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Not gonna make it too complicated. Assassins in itself is just a fun game mode, and
Yeah.
looking forward to that. The rest, I will say, I know Chad, XC Dude, has some changes coming for the Epic Zombie Invitational this year. And, some of our newer formats that we tried last year, the 70 reset, the capture the flag, the speed caps, we did get the feedback on
Yeah.
them. We saw what happened in some of them with our own eyes, and we kind of have changes in mind. And we're going to continually try to improve on those and make those even more viable. Although I will say, capture the flag to me was my favorite tournament of last year. I don't think I
Wow.
did great in it, but for me, it was such a cool new format, cool new win condition. I really enjoyed it, and I think there's a lot of room to improve upon it. And I'm looking forward to working with Harlow on that one to really nail in and dial in the settings to really make it so that capturing the flag is viable,
Yeah.
just as viable as winning via World Dom or whatever it is.
Yeah. We learned so much going through, 1 year of all these tournaments, really. Just ways that we would tweak and adjust, but the concepts there. The Big Maps Open will be very similar to what you saw last year. It's going to be a bunch of matches on big maps,
Yeah, and
which
those will
went
be
very well.
different. Obviously, some different settings than we saw last year. Obviously, we've gotten some new big maps though,
Sure.
so
Sure.
I'm looking forward to working with them.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got plenty of big maps to choose from this year. We talked about Chad updating some zombie stuff. Summer Road Trip likely will be something very similar to what we saw last year. Kind of a standardized FFA style tournament. 70 Reset, we had really good feedback on overall. There'll be some adjustments to it based off of
I think
feedback.
I think the big thing with 70 reset is making sure that we're not playing a hour long game
Right.
before there's possible reset.
Right.
Was the
Length
only
length
That's the
of
only real
game was
thing.
the
Maybe,
challenge.
yeah, yeah,
Yep, for sure. So yeah, we'll adjust that. PRT Birthday Bash. A lot of people like the condensed format. A lot of people absolutely despised it. We're gonna adjust it a little bit this year. It's gonna be a 2-week format, so it'll be a little more spread out with a little more flexibility, hopefully to make it more convenient for more people to play. But it'll still be a pretty condensed format for that Birthday Bash. Hot Buns World Tour, obviously everyone's favorite event of the year, run by the infamous Hot Buns. Capture the Flag Crackle already talked about. Harlow, a big helper in that one in designing it. Speed caps, again, just because Crackle loves playing caps, we're going to include this again next year. But we are going to make some pretty significant changes to the format. We really didn't know what to expect going into this one. It was hard to even test speed caps. To even put out, hey, we're testing a caps game for a tournament, pretty immediately turned some people off. So we had to figure it out kind of on the fly, and I think we learned a lot as we played, don't you?
yeah. I think there's definitely settings that he's worked with based on map, based on Portal and Blizzard.
Yeah.
The one thing it comes down to a lot is the you don't know where the Blizzards and Portals are going to be placed. So
Right.
there were definitely some games where it was like, it was almost impossible to make a move based on those positionings. But
Yeah.
hey, we're going to improve on it. You know how I feel about doing half caps, but
Yeah, yeah, we're potentially going to add in some alternate win conditions that add a little more opportunity for other people in turn order besides maybe the first and the end. So I think it'll be fun. Everyone loves caps. And then the PRT Cup coming back. So those are basically the PRT tour updates for next year. That's the announcement of the schedule. PRT League Fall 2024. You guys know this, but just recapping: Dread Pirates, your champions of the PRT League Central this year in the first ever season of PRT League. Dread Pirates dominated most of the season.
I, I'm surprised actually how close Ponyhoff got.
Yeah, they made a huge comeback the last 2 weeks. Maybe
Yeah.
the second to last and the third to last.
What happened to? I guess I don't know. I think Apes is in the chat. What happened to his team here?
Apes, do you want to respond, or we'll give him like
I don't know
15
that there is a
minutes?
response for that score.
Like 15 minutes. They had a tough year. Yeah, it was a tough year.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it's tough
was
competition.
it was very interesting to see these guys playing in a league format. Yeah, Ape said they just had bad luck. So
Of
pretty
course.
simple
Yep.
explanation.
That's
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. So these teams will have a chance. All 6 of these teams have a chance to play again in PRT League Central 1 again next year and totally redeem themselves. So we'll see. We'll see how differently it goes if everyone feels like they're not going to let the Dread Pirates get a big lead early in the season. But this league was definitely completely different than how the West played out in year 1.
Yeah, and I will say I think just off the top of my head, Speed Sepe,
Yeah,
probably probably the MVP of the league there.
yeah, yeah. It had to be.
Yeah.
He was really good. Yep. Okay, and then in the West, well, this can't be right. The Freedom War in fourth. Is that what?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that was disappointing. I still blame Frog
yeah. Never let it go, Frog.
missing a territory by
Yeah,
accident. In case you couldn't tell by the air quotes in my voice.
yeah. That you'll
But
never
no, hey, it
forget.
is what it is. We missed a couple 70 runs by a few territories, so it is
Sure.
what it is. We'll be back next year stronger than ever.
Sure. Reapers take the West, JMX in second, Chonk in third, and then Freedom Omnia and the 69ers there. Finish out fourth, fifth, and sixth. A lot of fun in both those leagues. So the way it'll work, moving into the spring, as we go to the spring league, we will have the West and Central back, but we will also be adding in to the West and Central a Division Two. So the way the second divisions will work is they will be unpaid players, 6 new owners, and they will have a chance to earn a spot in League One. The top 2 finishers in the second division at the end of the spring league will get to jump up into League One. The bottom 2 finishers in the top divisions will fall into League Two with a little promotion relegation. Crackle, does that concern you with your chance of getting relegated?
I mean, we would have survived this year,
Okay,
so I think we had a decent enough lead for fourth place that I would have felt comfortable. But no, I expect my team to do even better next year. So
good, good. I like the
next season.
confidence.
So
In addition to that, we will have the PRT Champions League this spring. It will begin week 4 of the league season, and it'll only go for 6 weeks. So it plays in the middle 6 weeks of the season, where we will have these 6 teams competing. The top 3 from the West, the top 3 from the Central will be competing in that Champions League. The West and Central play their matches on Monday and Tuesday nights, or Mondays and Tuesdays, USA time. Champions League will be played on weekends to help cover that time difference between the European players and the Eastern players, and then all the players in the Western Hemisphere. So, should be a lot of fun to see in the Champions League. What do you expect to see from the Champions League here, Crackle?
well, it's obviously there's a bit of a gap from this first season here. We'll see if the luck follows the Dread Pirates. They obviously were. I don't say they were handed some games, but they definitely had things fall their way quite a
Sure.
few games, and so we'll see if that keeps up. Obviously, in this game of Risk, that makes a difference in a handful of games, right? You just get the luck that kind of falls your way sometimes, and they certainly got that. The Reapers, JMX was kind of right behind him, I believe, not too far behind. So 2 loaded rosters. Again, still blame Frog for our team not making it, but um, yeah, I think JMX is a great team. Um,
Yeah, the
that's going to be fun to
JMX for
see.
Jax Wild, Mamba, and Zycron.
Yeah, more the first two. Let's be honest. I'm kidding. I'm joking, Zycron. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play against the other league. Will there be a kind of a team up that happens with the leagues, saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, the East League's better than the West." So hopefully we don't see any purposeful
Yeah, I can't
ruining of
imagine.
games. But
Can't imagine. Yeah,
I
Horace Boy,
think
also the owner of JMX, playing for that team. Sorry, I did not mention you there, Horace. And the obvious
yeah. So
favorites in the Champions League Crackle would be
I'm going JMax. That's my pick.
JMX. Okay, JMX has
I'm going
you've
JMax.
got
Yeah.
Crackle down is picking JMX. No pressure to those guys on winning the
Now
league.
I am only doing that because I do see Horace Boy and Jackson in the chat,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going to stick with that pick.
get the maximum number of brownie points. Smart. Okay, and then we've got those new 2 leagues, the PRT League West 2 and the PRT League Central 2. We are looking for owners. So this league's a smaller minimum bid than we had for League One's. It'll be just $50 to put as a minimum bid for one of these 2 divisions. We'll have 6 teams in each division. You are able to put in your interest. The new channels will pop up right after we go off the air here, where you can put your interest in owning either a West, Central, or East team. We are hoping to make an East Division 1 in the spring. We haven't had a ton of interest in it so far, but if you know anyone that wants to play in those East UTC hours, we're talking like 10 UTC kind of range, 10 to 12 UTC, Australia, Eastern Europe, Asia hours. We'd love to put together that League One for the spring, so make sure you post in there. Deadline's January 15th. We will have, no matter what, a West and Central Division 2, even if some of those teams are PRT owned. We're kind of expecting that to happen for this year. But they will have a chance to play their way into League One. Any other thoughts here, Crackle?
No, I would say, look, if you want to know, if you're looking to own a team, and like you said, it's not a huge investment, it's $50, and yes, you're starting out in a league where there's no payment, there's no winning there. It's really just you're trying to get into that top division.
Right.
It's something to play for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're
Sorry,
interested,
my mic cut out there.
okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say it gives you something really good to play for here. Trying to get moved up to the next division. Um, I also love um, the fact that if you have some players that are not sure that how much they can contribute to the team, maybe their availability is limited. Again, this is a non-paid
Yeah.
roster for these lower divisions. Now, once you move up, you will have to pay. If you're an owner, you will have to pay your players.
Yeah.
But for the time being, it'll be great for some of our newer, younger players that haven't been around as much that want to get involved. Maybe they don't feel like they're quite cut out to join the big league yet. This would be a great place to start out.
Yeah. And if you're interested in becoming a player and getting on one of these rosters, you don't have to sign up based off division. You can just sign up for. There'll be a channel for the West, the Central, and the East. Zareki will make public here again right after we go off the air, where you can mark your interest and sign up as a player, so these owners can reach out to you about getting you on their roster. These spots are open to PRT members only. However, if you are an affiliate, you can mark your interest, so the owners can reach out to you and help you with becoming a member, so you can be signed. That process can all be done professionalrisktakers.com to join PRT and to become a member. Then you'll get access to all the league information, so you can sign up and own a team and or become a player on a team. We would love to have these continue to expand. We had a ton of interest in year one for both the West and Central. They were highly competitive matches. There was some anger and some joy shared by all. And so we look forward to continuing to expand the PRT League in each of these divisions. Also,
And I will say,
yeah, go ahead.
I think TRT League West, we are looking for another owner, I believe,
That's true. That's
for
true. We do.
first division
We do
for
have
League One.
one first division spot open for PRT League West. So again, just express your interest in those channels. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to DM Crackle or I, and just feel free to ask us what questions you have. We'd love to fill in any info we can about it. If you're curious, we'd love to talk to you more about that. But yes, there is one spot on the PRT League West. The 69ers are available for purchase if anyone would like to become an owner of the 69ers.
And
Okay,
you don't have to have the same players. I will say that.
that's
Not
right.
to talk down on those players, some really good players, but free agency opens. Just so if you are a potential owner, free agency on the existing league, I believe, opens tomorrow, right?
That's right. And then these guys will have theirs open after that deadline, after the owners are
Yep.
assigned. So yeah, theirs will be a little bit later. But yes, that's correct. Free agency opens for the existing PRT League West 1 and PRT League Central 1 as of tomorrow. And then we are looking, so we've got match hosts that are working their tails off covering all these matches. You guys saw how many we did this year. But we're looking for more to help fill in the gaps as much as possible and take some of the pressure off of these guys. We're also looking for more broadcasters. Again, we have just a handful that cover the vast majority. We'd love to fill in more of them. We have paid out thousands of dollars this year to match host broadcasters and tourney winners. And that was a big part of PRT, was starting to give back to all these players and staff that put in so much time into this and helping it grow. The idea I originally started with was, if you put in your hour of effort being a match host, it's at least worth a cup of coffee that you should get paid back. And that's what we've been able to do. We hope to continue to do that. We pay $10 a match for matches octos through the finals. And if you are interested in this, you can apply on the website at professionalrisktakers.com, or you can go to Discord. Again, that channel will be made available. PRT staff interest, you can mark it in there. You can also, again, just DM Crackle or I or Zareki, and we'll get you to the right spot. We'd love to talk to you about being either a match host or a broadcaster or both. Some of us like doing both. Any thoughts on this, Crackle?
No, I think it's I'm going to say I'm going to take a guess here and
Okay.
say Zareki himself had to. I'm going to guess over $1,000 just for being around
Yeah.
last year. Had to have.
We had multiple staff that averaged about $100 a month.
Yeah,
So
it's and again, it's we're not saying hey come in and make a bunch of money, but it's a little incentive to hey you want to help out, you want to get involved. It's an awesome community, so
yeah,
here's a little something as well for your time.
yeah, and those are American dollars too. Just to be clear, American dollars.
Yeah, Zareki, that's a lot of plum brandy that you
Yeah,
could buy with that.
that's right.
I know that's made in Croatia.
Or think of the emotes that you could have in your arsenal with that kind of money. You
Or
could
you could buy your membership into the PRT.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, if you're worried about the $25 a year, you could host 3 matches and have $5 left over, and a full year PRT
Buy
membership to
yourself
play tournaments.
something real nice.
Real nice. So yeah, we'd love to have you guys. Again, there's a couple different ways to do it there in Discord and on the website, or feel free in Discord just to DM Crackles, Eric, or myself, and we'll get you where you need to go so we can get you signed up. We'd love to have more match hosts and broadcasters for 2025. And last, second to last, maybe last. I don't know if this is the last page. But we are doing a promo. If you are not currently a professional risk taker, we're doing a $15 membership. It's an end of the year sale. It's just through January 13th. So if you get signed up within this window, you can get signed up for that first open tournament, the Winners Arena Open. You can use promo code 2025 on the website at professionalrisktakers.com. Just click join PRT. Use that promo code 2025 and you can join and play in all these awesome tournaments. Again, you'll get 6 guaranteed tournaments, and then you've got a good shot at being in at least a couple of the invitationals next year. And you get to play with these awesome guys. You get these paid staff events. We're going to have live broadcasts of almost every game. You get this leaderboard, cash prizes. It's a ton of fun. You get to lose to Jax Wild on all kinds of different maps and different formats. So everyone enjoys that kind of stuff. Do you have
It was a fun year.
Any other ways to convince people to become members of Professional Risk Takers, Crackle?
I will say this, there's a lot of tournaments available out there now. There's a lot of other servers doing great things, by the way, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And we're kind of, this is its own not separate thing. We like to be a part of the overall community.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is its own cool little separate tour. You can kind of really just rank yourself against these other really great players. And again, we're constantly improving the tournaments and the formats and the way that these things are going to play out this year. And I'm really excited for this set of tournaments we have this year. I think it's a great lineup.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Okay, that is officially the last page. Thank you, everyone, for participating in Professional Risk Takers this year. Huge shout out to Crackle and Zerky, who do a ton of work behind the scenes. Basically, every tournament, anytime you get a bunch of settings that you hate, it came directly from Crackle. He puts a ton of time and effort into ruining your guys' lives.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
that's not true. Everyone but speed caps.
Oh, true. True. He will not take the blame for speed caps. That's fair. So yeah, Crackle does such an awesome job trying to put this stuff together, and then he works.
By the way,
yeah, go ahead.
If any of our players have interest in like developing settings, as much as I appreciate as I like doing it and trying to come up with cool new settings, if you have ideas that you want to see implemented and you think they would fit in any of these tournaments, let me know. I mean, definitely would like to work with people on that. I'm open to some outside influence on that as well.
Yeah, we've had members kind of come up with full tournament ideas that we've worked with, but we've also had members kind of come up with adjustments or ideas for current events and how they would adjust them, or even just a specific set of settings they'd like to see. Crackle's pretty open to it, and we're not. I know you guys think we sit in an ivory tower and come up with these settings maniacally, but we really don't. We're always looking for the most fun, most enjoyable, entertaining settings we can. So if you have ideas, reach out to Crackle. He's very open.
No, I definitely would love any input. It's not always. Sometimes it's hard to find the time to be able to test the settings appropriately. So as you're aware, and trying to convince Harlow to not do true random all in every round of the capture the flag, that took a lot of time. So
yeah, it's a little bit of give and take, but yeah, we appreciate it.
And
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Mitch, you took the words out of my mouth. I do want to say thank you to Zerky specifically for this year. Zerky is such an integral part of the Discord activities that updating everything every week. Yeah. So thank you, Zerky, for all you've done this last year. Not to take away from the other match hosts and other staff that we have, but really Zerky is a beast.
Yeah. So some of these other servers, you guys are seeing automated pieces of matches, match threads and things like that. The vast majority of that Zerky's doing by hand, partially because I'm not as good of a programmer in the Discord bot stuff, so he has to kind of figure it out. Also because we have a bit more of a personal touch to some of the stuff we do, but it's a ton of work that goes into what Zerky does. He creates all the threads each week. Each time we release a new tournament, he's creating all the channels, all the roles, keeping everything updated. He just does a fantastic job on the back end, kind of making us look good, making the server look good, and keeping everyone kind of connected. So definitely a huge shout out. Zerky, a bit of the unsung hero. He sometimes catches the flack in Discord, but he does such an awesome job.
He'll give the flack just as much as he takes.
Yeah, luckily Zerky can handle it just fine. He'll come right back at you, so not a problem. Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, that's awesome, man. I think I'm looking forward to the new season.
Yeah, it should be a fun 2025. Again, the first tournament sign up for that Players' Choice Invitational, just minutes away from the announcement coming through on Discord. Those 25 Tour Pros probably already have the role added. If I was guessing, Zerky's already got it done.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they've already got it. There you go. So they'll have the role and they can get signed up. Anybody else that's not a Tour Pro but a member can express their interest. And we'll look forward to 12 great events. We'll also roll out a little thing called the Risk World Cup again this year. So not an official tour event, but everybody's favorite way to express their patriotism and nationalism in the game of Risk. So it should be a lot of fun.